stand for national anthem.
भारत माता की हिंदुस्तान जिंदाबाद।
Please keep standing for the Russian national anthem.
Namaskar, Adab, Sat Sri Akal.
Здравствуйте. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Sobraniye 2019, a pre-departure ceremony for students going to Russia. Sobraniye has become a necessary tradition for students before departure to Russia every year.
Sobraniye is not just pre-departure guidance, but is also a source of motivation, where dignitaries from highest order, along with successfully working graduates of various top Russian universities, interact, guide, and motivate the students who embark on their journey to realizing their dream of becoming successful doctors.
In this 10th edition of Sobraniye, we welcome our esteemed dignitaries, our guests, our parents of the students and alumni of top Russian universities who have gathered here today to wish the best of luck to young minds of our nation.
Taking our evening further and to begin with the function, I would like to request founder of Rus Education, Professor Syed K. Wasim, and our Vice Chairman, Air Marshal Dr. Pavan Kapoor, to step up on the stage to welcome and felicitate our guests. Sir, please.
Now I invite guests for today's function with a request to come on to the stage and occupy the distinguished chair.
I humbly invite Mr. Roman Babushkin, Charge d'Affaires, Embassy of Russian Federation in India.
I cordially invite Lieutenant General Vipin Puri, Director General Armed Forces Medical Services. Sir, please.
Now I request Admiral Robin K. Dovan, former Chief of Naval Staff. Sir, please. Now I invite the co-host for the evening, Mr. Fyodor Razovsky, Director, Russian Centers for Science and Culture in India.
I humbly invite Dr. Harish Nadkarni, CEO, NABH.
CEO of National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare Providers.
Next, I would like to call upon Dr. Shabnam Singh, Director, Medical Education, Medical Research, Advisor, Healthcare Framework at Max Healthcare.
I warmly invite Dr. Shakti Gupta, Professor and Medical Superintendent, Dr. RP Sector, AIMS.
I humbly invite Dr. General Manager Academics, Max Institute of Medical Excellence, Max Healthcare.
Now I invite Mr. Rajiv Gupta, Director Admissions, Sharda University. Again, I would request you all to please give a warm welcome to all our guests. Vidyarupe Vishalakshi Vidyam Dehi Namostute. Now I request all the honorable guests to join us for lamplighting. Thank you, our honorable guests.
It is very difficult to believe that what was once dreamt is fulfilled now. Here we can see a blend of extraordinary students and their parents who have made this day arrive. That they have come to us from different corners of the country. I, on behalf of Rus Education, welcome you all in joining the extended family of Rus Education here at Sobraniye 2019. We have successfully enrolled 2,000 students this academic year. Now, I would request our Vice Chairman, Air Marshal Dr. Pawan Kapoor, to welcome all the guests. So, please.
Good evening, all of you. Good evening, all of you.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you. Dignitaries on the dais, dignitaries of the dais, colleagues and peers from Russian Center of Science and Culture, Rus Education, dear parents and students, a very good evening to all of you. You have a dream, and Sobraniye, the pre-departure ceremony, is just the first step that you take to pursue your dreams of becoming an enabled, competent medical professional. Sobraniye, the pre-departure ceremony, will orient you to what is expected from you while you reach your dream destination, Russia, for pursuing your medical career, and what is expected from you while you stay there. It is an honor and privilege to welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Roman Babushkin, Charge d'Affaires, Russian Federation to India, who consented to be here amongst us in spite of being preoccupied and extremely busy. Your presence here, sir, has given all of us the requisite boost and confidence to start this function on the right note. We welcome you, sir. It is indeed a moment of great pride for me and privilege for me to welcome Lieutenant General Bipin Puri, Param Vishish Seva Medal, President Honorary Surgeon, Senior Colonel Commandant of the Army Medical Corps, and the Director General of the Armed Forces Medical Services, who was kind enough to honor us with his esteemed presence today in spite of his being occupied elsewhere. General Bipin Puri is an alumnus of the prestigious Armed Forces Medical College, Pune, from where he did his undergraduation and post-graduation in surgery. He thereafter went on to do his super specialization in the discipline of pediatric surgery from the prestigious Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, Chandigarh, and went ahead to do fellowship and FRCS from the United Kingdom. A highly renowned pediatric and general surgeon and an able and competent administrator whose presence here should be an encouragement to all of you. With sheer dedication, sheer commitment, enthusiasm, and feeling for fellow human beings, you can achieve such heights and glory. He is a living example for you to follow how to reach the top by being a man of great humility. We are indeed honored by your esteemed presence and welcome you to the 10th edition of Sobraniye 2019. I now take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Shakti Kumar Gupta, a well-known figure in the field of hospital administration. He is an alumnus of Jammu Medical College and from All India Institute of Medical Sciences. He has held several appointments, including that of Professor and Head of Department of Hospital Administration in All India Institute of Medical Sciences, and currently he is a Professor and Medical Superintendent of Dr. R.P. Center at All India Institute of Medical Sciences. He is one man who is very dynamic. He is known to have brought several changes in the healthcare delivery system in the country. His views are honored across the globe, and that can be gauged from the fact that he has been honored with several awards both in India and abroad for his contributions towards the development and growth of healthcare delivery. Your presence here amongst us today is indeed inspirational for all of us, and we welcome you, sir. On behalf of the family of Rus Education and Russian Center of Science and Culture, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Shabnam, Director Medical Education and Research, and Dr. Vanita Mittal, General Manager Academics from Max Healthcare Institution of Excellence, who have been the pillars of academics in the corporate sector. And this can be gauged from the fact that Max is the only hospital rather one of the 3 hospitals outside of United Kingdom which is recognized by the General Medical Council of UK to train people in MRCP, that is members of Royal College of Physicians, and to conduct their examination in this country. This is a very, very unique thing to happen, and this has been largely possible due to the tremendous and untiring efforts of these 2 ladies on the stage. It has been a privilege welcoming such luminaries to this function. Thank you for being with us. We welcome you, ma'am. I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Harish Nadkarni, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare Providers, who is considered to be a legend in the field of quality and patient safety in this country. A gynecologist by profession, he is one of the pioneers in the field of quality in healthcare and excellence in this country. He is one of the few individuals who strongly believes that quality and patient safety starts from the first year of medical education. I am sure your presence in this audience shall motivate all our potential students to embark on their medical careers with some lessons on quality and patient safety in healthcare. We welcome you, sir. Dr. P.K. Gupta, the Chancellor of Sharda University, was supposed to be here today, but due to an unfortunate event in his family wherein he lost his mother just recently, he could not come. But see his commitment to the function. He sent his Director of Admissions, Mr. Rajiv Gupta of Sharda University, to be here amongst us. Sharda is a very important partner. It's an extended arm of Rus Education, and ours is an ever-expanding academic relationship. We welcome you, Mr. Rajiv. It is my proud privilege to welcome all the other guests who are here with us. It is my singular honor and privilege to extend a warm welcome to our leading luminaries of all times, Admiral R.K. Dhawan, Param Vishwa Seva Medal, Ati Vishwa Seva Medal, YSM, the former Chief of Naval Staff to this edition of Sobraniye. He is an alumnus of National Defence Academy, Defence Services Staff College and Naval War College, Rhode Island, United States of America, and whose strategic planning and vision has taken the Indian Naval Services to greater heights. We are indeed privileged to have him with us to show us the path to guide our young medical students to reach greater heights in the medical profession. We welcome you, sir. Now I get more personal. It is my personal privilege to welcome Mr. Fyodor Rozovsky, the Director of Russian Center for Science and Culture, whose consistent support, guidance, and assistance has been responsible for enabling us to give our best. His ever-smiling presence and his eye for details have left us mesmerized a couple of times. We at Rus Education know that we have reached so far because of his benevolent presence and support. We welcome you, sir, from the bottom of our hearts. I take this opportunity to welcome all the students and parents who have assembled here and who are the reason for this function. You have come here in large numbers, that gives us confidence. I also extend an apology to all those who wanted to come, but to limitation of the seating capacity, who could not adjust them, but we will definitely send them a letter to this effect. I welcome all our other guests, members from Russia Center for Science and Culture, Russian Federation, India, Ms. Elena Berman, who has been an integral part of our team. Lastly, I take this opportunity to welcome our founder and chairman, Rus Education, Dr. S.K. Vashim, whose vision and strategies have made Rus Education the leading provider of medical education opportunities and facilities in this country. He has worked extremely hard, often single-handedly, to ensure that the dreams of each one of you gets converted into reality. In our own way, he states that we at Rus Education try to bridge the healthcare resource gaps for achieving our Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Ayushman Bharat. Once again, a warm welcome to all of you. Our guest, Shri Manoj Tiwari, will probably join us at a later date. We shall wait for him when he comes, but we shall go on with the function. Thank you all once again for being here with us. A warm welcome and Jai Hind.
The Sobraniye is not an event for Rus Education. It is an event for all the students who are traveling to Russia this year, who will be future doctors and serving their people in India. So I would like to request all the students to please once stand up on their seats. Please just stand up on their seats. Many of you must be accompanying your parents. So I want a big round of applause for your parents. और जोर से You should understand, it is not a simple decision. कई पेरेंट्स के जैसे मैं जब रशिया गया था, I was the only child in the family. तो बहुत मुश्किल होता है. It is very difficult for the parents to send their इसको बोलते हैं ना दिल का टुकड़ा, and that too एक ऐसी जगह पे about which you don't know anything. Our counselors have helped you and provided information, but your journey starts now, and it will be a tough journey. And to sum up your journey, I would like to say few lines. कि निगाहों में मंजिल थी, गिरे और गिरकर संभलते रहे, हवाओं ने बहुत कोशिश की मगर चिराग आंधियों में भी जलते रहे. Take this spirit and you are always welcome to Russia. Thank you.
Now I would request Admiral R.K. Dhawan, former Chief of Naval Staff, to deliver the inaugural address. Sir.
Lieutenant General Vipin Puri, the Director General Armed Forces Medical Services, His Excellency Mr. Raman Babushkin, the Charge d'Affaires, the Russian Federation in India, Mr. Rozovsky, the Director of the Russian Centers for Science and Culture in India. We have with us also Dr. Shakti Gupta, Dr. Nadkarni, Dr. Singh, Mrs. Mittal, as well as Rajiv Gupta, the founder chairman of Rus Education, Dr. Wasim, and the vice chairman, Pawan Kapoor, Air Marshal. The team from Rus Education, who is present here, Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear students, parents, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a distinct honor for me to be present here to give the inaugural address for Sobraniye 2019. At the very outset, I would like to congratulate all the students who are present here because they have worked hard to get to this prestigious position where they are seated in this hall ready for the pre-departure ceremonies before they proceed to Russia for their higher studies in medical education. In India, it is the dream of students to be a doctor. And today, all the students seated here will be setting sail and embarking on a journey to become doctors in the future. But there is equal participation and a major role that the parents who are present here have played. Because in Indian culture, it is still the parents who decide the study program or indeed the career which their children will choose. And therefore, they also provide the financial assistance to their children to realize their ambitions. So today is the day to salute the parents of the students who are present here. Please give them a big hand. They are the ones who have given the wings to the dreams of their children to become a doctor. They are the ones who have provided the moral and financial support for them to commence their journey to become a doctor. And they are the ones who will act as pillars of strength while their children work hard to realize their dreams. I would like to tell the students present here that you're all extremely fortunate, because to become a doctor is indeed a dream, and you all will be proceeding to Russia, to universities there, to realize your dream. As you're all aware, India and Russia are two great nations with very close friendship and relationship, which has been nurtured over the decades to a strategic partnership. There are many avenues of cooperation between our two great countries, and one of the areas is to provide higher education to Indian students in Russian universities. Russia is indeed one of the most beautiful countries in the world, and apart from being a beautiful country, the people, the Russian people, are most kind-hearted, considerate and loving. It is a country with a very rich cultural heritage spanning over centuries. I had the privilege to visit the erstwhile Soviet Union in Russia way back in 1979, nearly 40 years ago. And that started my association, which is indeed memorable, with the Russian people and the great Russian country. I would also like to make a special mention here about Mr. Rozovsky, who has played a pivotal role in improving and developing relationships between our two great countries. I believe that he is a shining example of someone with deep insight into the culture and heritage of two countries, which has led to strengthening the bridges of friendship between our peoples and also opening up many avenues of cooperation between our two great countries. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a big round of applause. To the students present here, I would like to say that when you arrive in Russia, you need to adapt to the culture of Russia. You need to adapt to the climate, learn the language, mix and mingle with the people, understand that country, and behave as the best ambassadors of India in your conduct and behavior when you are carrying out your education in universities in Russia. Also, you must never forget your aim and the mission, which is only one: to become a doctor. And let me tell you that that is not an easy mission. But once you have chosen that aim, you will have to put your heart and soul to make that mission a success. The path is certainly not going to be easy, and you will be confronted with many challenges. But you will have to work hard, burn the midnight oil, and never deviate from your path. Always remember that even getting a degree is not going to be the end of your journey. You will have to face a challenging FMG examination to make sure that you are accepted as part of the coveted teams of doctors which can practice in India, to embrace the most noble of professions, and then to serve humanity with your professional skills. I would also like to congratulate the team of Rus Education, which has worked behind the scenes to convert the dreams of these students into reality. They have provided assistance, not just as counselors, for these students to select their universities where they would be going, but they have also provided assistance for documentation, travel plans, departure formalities, and the relationship between the team of Rus Education and these students doesn't end here. Indeed, they will also ensure that these students will settle down in their universities and continue to monitor their progress. To the team of Rus Education, I would like to urge that continue your task with commitment, compassion, courage, credibility, and integrity. We have received all the suggestions that you have made, and it will be our endeavor to make sure that we work as a happy as well as an efficient team to deliver much more with much less. Finally, to the students who are seated here, I would like to say that today you're seated here as young men and women of honor, with pride in your hearts and your determination to succeed. Continue to strive for excellence and never let routine mediocrity become your standards. Continue to work hard with alacrity and elan and bring honor to your own name, make your parents proud, bring honor to your universities, and keep the Indian national flag always flying high. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request Lieutenant General Vipin Puri, Director General Armed Forces Medical Services, to motivate our students. Sir, please.
Dignitaries on the dais, distinguished guests, parents, young students, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say at the outset, it is a singular honor, a great pleasure to be here this evening, to be a part of this very important academic celebration, should I say, on this very historic, very momentous occasion. I say this to the parents and the children who embark on this amazing journey. As you're aware, as has been talked about, medical education continues to be an extremely important aspect of our academic environment. This country, I'm talking of in India in general, as you're all aware, there continues to be a gap in the demand and supply in terms of doctors in the Indian diaspora. That being so, there is the government of India recognizes that there is a problem, there is an issue to improve our doctor-patient ratio. We require to look at this, as some of you are also aware that the government of India has made multiple initiatives in the recent past. They just talked about opening 75 new medical colleges for more than 15,700 more seats. So you can well imagine that there is a huge demand of doctors today in our country. Issue is, do we have the resources? Unfortunately not for the time being. The resources have to be built up over a period of time. As you're all aware, today the world is a global village. Whether it's Russia, whether it's China, whether it's idea is that you, as parents, you have taken a decision, and I think it's an amazing decision, to make your child into a doctor. I sincerely believe medicine as a profession continues to be a very, very noble profession, where you look at issues, problems, challenges of humanity at large. And I think it's kudos, congratulations to the parents who have taken these decisions to take their wards up and raise them as doctors and give it back to society in a different way. So congratulations to the parents, congratulations to the children. And let me say this, that as the previous Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Dhawan said, that you are going there, children, as ambassadors of this country. And when you go to a foreign country as an ambassador of India, you take with you the culture of this country, the culture of friendliness, the culture of great values that we take away from this country. And let Russia know what India is all about. And towards that extent, I wish you all the very best. And I also assure you that once you come back from Russia and come back to your motherland, this country will be waiting to receive you back once again with open arms. God bless.
Thank you, sir. Rus Education acknowledges the contribution made by our brave soldiers. To honor their sacrifices, Rus Education presents Veer Jawan Scholarship.
And the proud recipients of this scholarship are Miss Mansi and Miss Garima. I invite both the students on the stage and would like to request Lieutenant General Vipin Puri and Admiral Robin K. Dhowan to please come forward and hand over the scholarships to our deserving candidates.
Veer Jawan Scholarship to pay our tribute to all the brave soldiers of Mother India who cared for our lives more than their own. Veer Jawan Scholarship.
मौसम अपना वायरलेस मेरे पास छोड़ कर गया।
Thank you, everyone.
Without the active support of Russian embassy, it would have never been possible for Russian universities to admit students from India. With all our hearts, we acknowledge all the efforts made by Russian embassy for ensuring transparent and hassle-free admission procedure into various Russian government universities.
Now I invite Mr. Roman Babushkin, Charge d'Affaires, Embassy of Russian Federation in India. So please.
Very good evening to all of you. It is Apka Namaste. और रूस में आपका स्वागत है। Thank you so much to all of you gathered here today. A very special moment when we have a 10th anniversary of such an important event, which is blessed by the whole galaxy of those people who inspire all of us. And I would like to especially mention that this is a truly historic moment. Because you are traveling to Russia after the historic 20th Jubilee Russia-India Summit, which took place this year in September, last week in Vladivostok. That was a very special meeting between the leaders of the two countries, because the outcomes of the summit go far beyond expectations. Now our relations are expanded into the Russian Far East, which offers us tremendous opportunities to go ahead to further strengthen our special and privileged strategic partnership. A lot of issues were on the agenda, but it is especially important that education is the great part of the agenda of not only annual summits between our two countries, but in our everyday life. And these annual events, like today, is a vivid proof of that. So I would like to join the panelists to congratulate you and your families on your reasonable choice to get education in Russia, and to wish you and to have an eventful and a memorable journey ahead. It makes perfect sense because the Russian higher education school has preserved the best world-famous practices and traditions while having been closely integrated into the modern global educational system. Russian universities bring together fundamental education and innovative approach, provide excellent conditions for learning and living, and are annually included in the recognized global ratings. Alongside academic excellence in medicine, engineering, mathematics, natural sciences, as well as humanities, Russian universities offer affordable costs, about 5 to 7 times less than in Europe and in the US. Apart from professional knowledge and skills, studying in Russia offers an opportunity to come into close contact with its rich culture, art, and intellectual life, unique historical heritage, to see its breathtaking nature, to get to know its unique traditions and enjoy famous hospitality of the Russian people.
There are hundreds of thousands of Indian citizens who have acquired their education and higher degrees from Soviet and Russian universities. Alumni of Russian education institutions are working now in various ministries, governmental agencies, private companies, various educational and research institutions all over India and the world. In recent years, many thousand Indian students came to Russia annually with more than 100 winning state scholarships. The majority is pursuing medical courses. Currently, over 6,000 students are enrolled in various Russian medical institutions. We do hope that after successfully graduating from the Russian universities, you will be able to create better conditions and prosperity for fellow citizens and for the world at large. Let us wish you to take the full advantage of this period in your lives, to acquire knowledge, to grow professionally, to make new friends and fulfill dreams. Bilateral relations between our two countries have got a big history, but behind the government-led agreements, arrangements, and decisions, achievements, there are tremendous people-to-people affinity, and you are a great part of it. You are our best asset, and you are our future. Sajano or Debiyo. विद्यार्थियों, शिक्षकों, एक बार फिर रूस में आपका स्वागत है। दुकान बंद करें ताकि आप सब लोग खुश और तंदुरुस्त रहे। आपके हमारे हार्दिक बुद्धियां और शुभकामनाएं। Stay blessed, stay encouraged, and stay motivated. Thank you so much. धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. If it comes to smooth admission procedure, imparting correct information about Russian education, organizing various events, may it be Russian Education Fair, where top universities of Russia participate and directly provide information to Indian students, or it be events like Sobraniye, Russian Center of Science and Culture has been the guiding light for Rus Education and its operations.
In particular, the director of Russian Center of Science and Culture, Mr. Fyodor Razovsky, with his efficient team, has been our mentor, providing not only useful tips and suggestions, but also providing his full support as and when needed. So I invite Mr. Fyodor Razovsky, Director, Russian Centers for Science and Culture, to motivate our young students. So please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished members of the dais, dear students and parents. Students, जो राशा में जा रहा है, मोटिवेट मुश्किल नहीं, ये बहुत आसान है। इसलिए मैं ज़्यादा नहीं बोलूँगा। Really big pleasure for me and for the Russian Center of Science and Culture, not only in Delhi, but in Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, and Thiruvananthapuram, to be part and to organize Sobraniye 2019 because it's a jubilee function. It's the 10 times. I remember that 10 years ago with Dr. Wasim, we started this ceremony, this farewell party for the students going to Russia. And it started in all our centers. But after a few years, we found that the halls of Russian centers, which can accommodate from 200 up to 300 people, are not enough. And we started to use different halls and auditoriums of New Delhi. And I hope that this hall, Kamani Auditorium, is quite the best one for this event for all of us. So it's, for me, it's a little emotional to be a part of 10th celebration. And I'm really proud that Rus Education is sending almost 1,500 students to my country. You see, I don't want to motivate you more because I understand that Indian new generation is one of the most pragmatic generation in the world. And if you are going to Russia to get a doctor, you will be doctors. Because we will not allow you not to be doctors. This is no motivation. I would like to address my speech for the parents. You see, first Indian students start going to Russia almost 60 years ago. And they continued during Soviet time in the 60s and the 70s and 80s. And at that time, you see, there was no possibility to get some information. We also were working at that time abroad at the embassies and cultural center, and for us it was also difficult to get information from our parents, only by letter. सिर्फ खत लिखना पड़ता था और खत कितने देर लगेगा जाने रूस हिंदुस्तान तक 1 महीने 3 हफ्ते 2 महीने खुदा बेख्तार दुनिया. But now you see, and by months, and parents were keeping quiet, you see, and calm. They knew they going to a good country for a good purpose, their children. But now, with this internet, face-off, Skype, you start immediately to complain to your parents, not understanding that you're making them nervous. Please take care of your parents. Complain to Rus Education, complain to Indian Embassy. Indian Embassy, we have very good cooperation with a group of science and education. Mr. Alok Garg is Minister Counselor of the Embassy, is a very good friend of mine and our good partner with all difficult problems we're trying to solve together. So don't disturb your parents, you see. And you will be, and you parents, you also should understand that if your boy or your girl, they don't answer the mobile, it means they are doing lessons. It not means they're going to disco, they're enjoying life other place. No, they're doing hard work studies. Only one thing that your children will go to Russia is for studies. So with these words I will not elaborate further. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you good years to be spent in my country. It's a beautiful country, and love for Indian people is fantastic. You see the chemistry between our leaders, between Mr. Modi and Mr. Putin. You see, I don't know other leaders which there is such a chemistry. And not for 1 year, not for the purpose of election, but it's a real. So same thing you will find, I'm sure, Russian boys and girls, your colleagues, with whom you will make friendship, and friendship will be forever. So good health, be serious, don't be afraid of the climate. It's not cold in Russia. In Russia we are saying there are not bad weather, there are only bad clothes. So you put good clothes on you for cap and this, then you will be taught, and don't worry. And you parents, you please encourage the children. Encourage your children. Dhanyavad. Bye, Rus. Thank you.
His Excellency Mr. Alexander M. Katakin, ex-ambassador of Russian Federation in India, was a great friend of our country. In January 2018, the Indian Civilian Award Padma Bhushan was posthumously conferred on His Excellency by President of India.
It was officially stated that while Kadakin was born in Russia, but his Karam Bhumi was India. So, to honor this great diplomat, Rus Education presents Druzhba Scholarship.
And the proud recipients of this scholarship are Miss Neha and Miss Alisha. To present the scholarship, I invite Mr. Roman Babushkin, Charge d'Affaires Russian Embassy in India, Mr. Fyodor Razovsky, Director Russian Centers of Science and Culture, and Chairman Founder Rus Education, Professor Syed Kevasim. Sir, please.
Druzhba Scholarship in honor of late His Excellency Mr. Alexander Mikhailovich Katkin, former Russian ambassador to India, honored with Padma Bhushan, the third highest civilian award in the Republic of India.
So one more student. Fyodor Razovsky. Yes. Thank you, everyone. AIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, is the most reputed medical institute in India. And we have Dr. Shakti Gupta as a representative of this premier institution. Professor and Medical Superintendent, Dr. R.P. Center, AIMS. Dr. Shakti Gupta, sir, we request you to kindly say a few words to motivate our students.
Good evening, everybody. Dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, students, parents, and dear friends. First of all, I'd like to convey that our director was supposed to come over here, but due to some unavoidable and last minute work, he had to go somewhere, so he could not come. And he called me and said to wish you good luck. And he was very much concerned about the training programs and other things. Maybe actually we have already, he has had a lot of discussion with the Air Marshal Pawan Kapoor that how we can help actually and improve further the education which is going to take, how aims can be associated with that. I was also the teacher of Air Marshal Pawan Kapoor, that he graduated from the Russia. So why I want to give this example that if he can become the professor and head of department of All India Institute of Medical Sciences after graduation from Russia, so there are infinite opportunity for you to reach anywhere you want. But you have to work hard. You have to be very focused. And another thing that actually, that I want that you should be a dreamers. I don't like people actually, or the students, especially the young students, to take dream during the night time. Anybody who takes a dream during the night time, by morning we forget actually what was the dream like. But I feel actually if you take a dream during the daytime, you can translate that dream into action. That is what I expect for these 200 students who are going for actually medical graduation from the first year. And sometimes what happens, people always say that sky is the limit. But I don't believe in that philosophy. I believe that above sky is the limit. Why we should restrict our vision up to the sky? Above sky is the infinite opportunities. So don't taking actually say limit yourself to the sky and start dreaming from today onwards actually where you want to achieve. And another thing is that sometimes what happens, we keep on thinking to do certain things. But I believe in a very simple philosophy. That is, if you take a step forward, only then you can decide whether this is wrong or right. Otherwise, one can never progress in their life. So if you take a step, if it's wrong, you take it back and take another step. So if you don't take any step and keep on thinking the negative aspects that I'm not going to be successful, then we will not reach anywhere. But I believe in the mainstream that already they have so many medical colleges and so many people coming. So when you come back, you have to compete with other doctors also to reach that way where you want to reach it. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Ayushman Bharat, a dream of our Honorable Prime Minister to create a healthy India. It is our collective responsibility to strive towards a healthier India. Rus Education does its part by helping young mind of India to become excellent doctors.
वो कहते हैं कि स्वस्थ रहेगा इंडिया तभी तो बढ़ेगा इंडिया. To honor this vision of Ayushman Bharat, we have introduced Ayushman Bharat Scholarship. This year, the proud recipients are Miss Visalakshi and Dharmendra Singh. To present the scholarship, I request Dr. Shakti Gupta, Professor and Medical Superintendent, Dr. RP Center, AIMS, and our Vice Chairman, Air Marshal Dr. Pawan Kapoor. So please. Thank you, everyone. Indian healthcare system has proved its mettle and has been recognized as one of the best among the globe. People travel from across various countries to get various treatments in Indian hospitals. And all thanks to National Accreditation Board of Hospitals and healthcare providers for keeping the quality standards in check.
We are honored to have the CEO of National Accreditation Board of Hospitals and Healthcare Providers, Dr. Harish Nadkarni. I would like to invite you, sir, to share a few words.
Thank you for inviting dignitaries on the dais, dignitaries in audience, parents with palpitations, and children who are looking forward to a bright future. It's difficult to look back 1976 when I joined medicine and how I reached here. I mean, never planned the journey but landed here in some way or the other. And I'm sure that medical education system is anywhere is planned in such a way that you enter as a very ordinary person with hardly any skill. But when you come out of that convoluted tube, somehow they inculcate you in an ability which is unique next to God of saving life. No other profession in the world can take the credit that you can save a human life. In few years when you sit in the clinic, it would not matter to you who sits across the table. Its caste, creed, religion, location, country, nationality, nothing matters. Only matters is that he is the patient and you are there to help him. In the process, you may get prestige, you may get money, but that will all be secondary, you will realize after many years. After many decades, when you look back, you will have a great pleasure that you reached a place at right time, did right thing. That is why somebody's father, mother, child is surviving. And in the end, that is what would matter to you. I think I won't add too much time. And thank you very much. Best of luck. Don't worry too much about it. You will all be good doctors. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. To honor one of the beloved sons of Mother India, our ex-Prime Minister, late Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, we announce Udan Scholarship.
It was Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji who added the feather of nuclear country in the cap of India. I welcome the proud recipients of Udan Scholarship, Akula Lalasa from Hyderabad and Harshita Verma.
Udan Scholarship in loving memory of late Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, former Prime Minister of India and Member of Parliament, honoured with Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian award in the Republic of India.
To present this scholarship, I would like to invite Dr. Harish Nadkarni and Chairman, Founder of Rus Education, Professor Syed K. Wasim. Sir, please come forward and award the scholarships. Thank you, everyone. Perfect vision and dynamism can propel any organization to newer heights. The perfect example of same is Dr. Shabnam Singh, Director Medical Education, Medical Research, Advisor, Healthcare Framework at Max Healthcare.
Rus Education has signed an agreement of cooperation with Max Hospital, which allows the students to complete their summer practice in India in Max Hospital, where they get exposure to Indian healthcare system. I invite Dr. Shabnam Singh to motivate the young doctors of tomorrow. Ma'am, please.
So let's raise your hands. How many of you are awake? I am. That's good. What about them upstairs? Yes, that's better. So, as Dr. Nagarni said, in the interest of time, firstly, I'm absolutely delighted and humbled by the honor given to me here by a very dear friend who, as I just mentioned to Lieutenant Puri, that he's like a good book which you can't put down. So when there's nothing I can say no to Pawan. So when he said that I have to be here and speak a few words, here I am. William Osler, some of you might know, he's the father of medicine, and he said that in medicine, it is the science of uncertainty and the art of probability. So as students, if you remember and understand that whatever you will learn and see and practice is going to be uncertain in the real world, but the art that you culturally imbibe will turn what you're doing into probability. This for you is the most important piece to understand in medicine, and I say this in all seriousness. In today's evolving world, every 3.5 years, whether you're in medicine or any other field, you will have to change your job. Every 11 months, you will have to learn a new skill. And every 73 days, there will be an updation of knowledge. So what I learned in medical school in Delhi Harding is way behind me. In your case, maybe the 73 days will become even shorter. You need 4 pieces or pillars in your life to be able to do justice to what your parents are doing for you today. And those 4 pillars are, you have to be creative in any situation. You have to be an excellent communicator. You must have the power of critical thinking. Lastly, if you are not able to package all of this together, you will not be able to survive in medicine today. There's always a rise in AI. Let it not frighten you. It cannot in any way dislodge you. So here is where, from Max Healthcare, what we have done and what we will continue doing is a promise to our profession and to the people of our country that we will continuously evolve, ensure that healthcare delivery is of the highest order, and we're absolutely delighted to partner with Rus Education in this. Come, learn with us, observe, but don't expect us to hold your hands. No, you are the learner. You have to come. So when you go to Russia, you've got this fabulous opportunity to learn from best in class. Juice it, learn it, imbibe it, and be sponges. So all the very best. And remember, we are always here to hold your hand. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we present Birthday Kadam Scholarship in the honor of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the Missile Man and former President of India, honored with Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian award in the Republic of India.
I would request Dr. Shabnam Singh, Dr. Vanita Mittal, and Mr. Rajiv Gupta, Director Admissions, Sharda University, to present the scholarship to Kumari Manu Yadav and Sneha Mali.
We feel blessed to be a helping hand for meritorious medical aspirants with grants of scholarships, including Birthday Kadam Scholarship in honor of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President and the Missile Man of India, honored with Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian award in the Republic of India.
Thank you, everyone. I would like to invite Shri Rajiv Gupta ji, Director Admissions at Sharda University, to please say a few words. Sir, please.
Distinguished guests of the rise, students, parents, this is a time, this is a day, I think it is a very emotional day. Most of you are feeling a mixed feeling of excitement and the tension also, because all of you are going first time to Russia, and parents also feel discomfortable, and students also feel excitement also, as well as tension also, because they are going in a new environment. The only thing I want to say to all the students, make your parents and your nation proud. After achieving all the whichever you are going to learn, what medical course there, all the best.
We have another distinguished guest, Shri Johar Ali Ji, amongst us, who have recently been appointed Anti-Tobacco Ambassador, Society for Tobacco Control. Sir, I would like to please invite you on dais.
जितने भी मेहमान डेस्क पे बैठे हैं बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। मैं एक हिंदुस्तानी वायलिन प्लेयर हूँ, जौहर अली मेरा नाम है, शायद आपने सुना हो। आप लोग जा रहे हैं एक बात आप लोगों से शेयर करूंगा, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हमारा मुल्क जो है वो खूबसूरत तो है, सुंदर तो है, लेकिन बहुत बड़ा एक रिच कल्चर है, वेरी रिच इसका कल्चर है। तो उस रिच कल्चर को, उस संगीत को कभी कभी डिस्कस कीजिए। जब आप, मैंने देखा किसी मरीज, किसी पेशेंट को देखते हैं तो आप किसी म्यूजिक का जिक्र करेंगे तो वो बहुत आनंदित होता है। तो यही हम लोग चाहते हैं। मैं चाहता हूँ कि स्टडी के साथ साथ आप म्यूजिक का भी, हमारे संगीत का, हमारे कल्चर का ज़रूर प्रचार करें। म्यूजिक को सीख भी सकते हैं। रशिया भी एक ऐसी देश है जहाँ पर बहुत बड़ा संगीत होता रहता है। अभी मैं स्वच्छ भारत का भी एम्बेसडर हूँ और एंटी टैबैको का भी अभी हाल ही में मैं एम्बेसडर बनाया है। तो संगीत के द्वारा हम लोगों की सेवा कर रहे हैं। तो मैं आप लोगों को शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ, संगीतमय शुभकामनाएं, कि आपका भविष्य उज्जवल रहे, कुछ रहे। और ये आज का दिन बड़ा अच्छा है। आज के दिन बहुत बड़े देवता को हम याद करते हैं, हज़रत इमाम हुसैन को। तो शुभकामनाएं आपको, उनका भी आशीर्वाद मिले। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, sir. I think all the students here know about Rus Education. All our guests are friends. But we present a small video documentary about Rus Education. I hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you.
प्लीज देख लो यार, जूम करो उस पर पूरा। हाँ, बहुत मेहनत लगी है भाई।
India and the world need more doctors. As per the World Health Organization, 45% of WHO member states report to have less than one physician per 1,000 population. India alone needs more than 6 lakh doctors to take care of the healthcare needs of the entire nation. What's the solution? More doctors. For more doctors, we need more medical aspirants. Thankfully, we have enough medical aspirants. In India, every year about 7 lakh medical aspirants qualify NEET, and less than 70,000 get medical seats in India. What about the aspirations of 6,30,000 aspiring doctors? What about the healthcare needs of India and the world? That's why we started Rus Education, helping aspiring doctors become exceptional doctors for the last 25 years.
In India, it is the dream of students to become doctors. And one of our missions is to convert this dream of aspiring doctors into reality by getting them admissions in universities abroad. And once they have the coveted degree of the doctor, they can serve humanity with their professional skills.
We help aspiring medical students from India to go abroad to Russian medical universities, which are top-ranked universities, which are recognized by the government of Russia, and which are also MCA approved, so that they can live their dreams, they can acquire their dream qualifications, and then thereafter they can come back to us in India and contribute to the healthcare delivery system of this country.
To help aspiring doctors across India, we have pan-India presence with 30 plus branches across states and a team of 300 plus members. With our free counseling sessions, we not only help the students select the medical university that's the best fit, but also provide support from day one to the day of their white coat ceremony and beyond. To prepare students for Russia, we organize Sobraniye, pre-departure ceremony and festive assembly for Indian students going to Russia. We are associated with 50 plus universities to facilitate direct interaction between students and university delegates. Rus Education, in collaboration with the Russian Center of Science and Culture, organizes Russian Education Fair every year, in which hundreds of students participate and get on-spot admissions to MBBS in Russia. Our doctors are practicing in India, United States, Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, and other countries worldwide.
We are the only organization in India authorized by the Russian Center of Science and Culture, Cultural Department of Russian Embassy, to promote Russian education among Indian citizens.
A few of our accolades include Central India's most trusted education consultant for abroad, awarded by Honorable Shivraj Singh Chauhan, former Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh in 2018. India's leading and most reliable provider of foreign medical education, awarded by Raman Singh, former Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, 2018. The Best Overseas Education Provider of the Year 2018 at Pride of India Education Awards 2018. Best Overseas Education Consultant of the Year, awarded by National Icon Awards 2018. India's Best Overseas Education Provider, awarded by Excel Research in 2019. Excellence in Education at Indian Excellence Awards in 2019. With a user rating of 4.5 on a scale of 5-star, we work on every single feedback to take it to 5.
We are proud of the impact that we have made in the lives of students and the world of education and healthcare. In a period of more than 2 decades, we have helped more than 15,000 aspirants to become doctors. And now, we are fortunate to be a key facilitator for more than 5,000 students who are studying medicine in Russia.
On an average, about 3 students get an MBBS seat through Rus Education counseling every single day. That is changing not only the lives of our students, but also the lives of their families and the healthcare system of the world.
To make students aware of MBBS abroad opportunities, we organize seminars, admission expos in major cities of India, which have been a great help for students and their guardians. And for continuous support of students, we have Student Governing Association, and for parents, we have Parents Association, which make sure that they have no unresolved issues.
We feel blessed to be a helping hand for meritorious medical aspirants with grants of scholarships including Birthday Kadam Scholarship in honor of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President and Missile Man of India. Udan Scholarship in loving memory of late Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, former Prime Minister of India. Drushba Scholarship in honor of His Excellency Mr. Alexander Mikhailovich Kharkin, former Russian Ambassador to India. Veer Jawan Scholarship to pay our tribute to all the brave soldiers of Mother India. Maitri Scholarship in loving memory of late Srimati Sushma Swaraj, former Minister of External Affairs of India. Samarthya Scholarship in loving memory of late Shri Arun Jaitley, former Finance Minister of India and Member of Parliament.
We motivate our students who pass out from various Russian medical universities to come back to India and contribute their services to the cause of the healthcare delivery in this country, especially so where our Honorable Prime Minister has conceptualized Ayushman Bharat. Towards this end, these very medical students, when they come back to India, they provide that much needed health resource which this country needs to take the movement of Ayushman Bharat forward.
We are also contributing to a healthy India with our healthcare camps in collaboration with NGOs, where we provide basic health checkup services for free. As a corporate citizen, we fulfill our social responsibility by all means we have, granting scholarships, teaching healthy habits to rural people, supporting Kerala Relief Fund, are few of our initiatives to give back to our community and express our gratitude. we offer a complete set of support services one needs to get into a medical university and beyond, including free counseling for selection of medical university, filing application form, getting an education loan, getting student visa, making travel arrangements, arrangement of hostel and Indian food in Russia, continuous support in Russia, and MCI screening test coaching.
We hold the hands of our students in Russia as well, with the continuous support through our official representatives available. We have offices in the campus as well as in the hostels in Russia. Rus Education remains associated with the students from admission till the convocation. It helps them in becoming an exceptional doctor.
The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a little step, and so is the journey to become a doctor. Take that little step to start your medical pilgrimage. Rus Education. Education beyond boundaries.
All the students who are present here, do you all know that you have to learn Russian language while you study in Russia?
Yes, sir.
Everybody?
Yes, sir.
What do you think? How is the Russian language? कुछ friends से, कुछ parents से, कोई already students जो पढ़ रहे हैं उनसे आपने बात की होगी. So how do you feel? How's the Russian language? Beautiful. So it's Russia is beautiful. So is its language. So we have Ms. Tatiana Pirova, who is the head of Russian Language Teachers Training Center. So ma'am, please guide our students about this Russian language. Thank you.
Good evening, respected dignitaries, students, parents. First of all, I would like to say that it's a great pleasure for me to participate in Sobraniye because we are very happy to be a part of such a project of giving the future, giving the good careers, and to do it for the better future of both countries. For Russian language, I would say that it's a great opportunity for you. You will get not only one specialty, but also a second one, because you have to communicate to your friends in the university, to go shopping, to have fun. Everybody says you must be focused, yes, but there will be also other life in your university. You will participate in different activities, you will have concerts, you will do sports, you will communicate to the new friends. And of course you start studying language. Your education is done in English, which is easier for you to start immediately. But to learn language gives you more chances, more opportunities, and you will enjoy it. For the Indians, to study Russian language is not so difficult for those whose only language is English or Chinese, because there are more similarity in languages. There are some details in Hindi, some characteristics of Hindi and Russian language which are the same. You won't need to be explained what is gender, grammatic gender, why do you have to address politely and less politely, friendly and not official, because you have it in your language. And for those who also, in some, if any, knows Sanskrit, it will be very easy because the grammar is similar, a lot of vocabulary is similar. 800 words are similar, same actually. Samovar, Russian loves samovar, and it's a very national thing, which happened to be a Sanskrit word. Some self, but boiling water. And if you look deeper in language, in culture, you will find more and more things which are bringing two nations together. What is the festive color? What will be the color for wedding sari? What will be festive color? Huh? Red. There will be beautiful in Russian. I mean, krasny, red, have two meanings. It is red color and beautiful. We will find the same ornaments in some folklore dressing. You will find more and more similarity and understanding. So I wish you not only to study medicine, I wish you to get a new language, a new culture, and new friends. Thank you.
Now I invite our founder chairman, Professor Syed K. Wasim, to thank all the honorable guests and the audience. So please.
Good evening, namaskar, dear friends, dear students, parents, dignitaries on the dais. I am the last speaker, and I am sorry for taking extra time to complete first part of our event. Actually, we are waiting for our chief guest, Mr. Manoj Tiwari. He is in Prime Minister residence now, and he's on the way. So this is the reason we have taken some extra time. I am sorry for that. On behalf of Rus Education, on behalf of students, parents, I want to say, and I want to thank Charge Affairs of Russian Embassy, Mr. Raman Babushkin, General Vipin Puri, Director General Medical Services, Dr. Shakti Gupta, Professor and Medical Superintendent, All India Institute of Medical Science, Dr. Purish Lankani, CEO, NABA, Admiral Dhawan, former Chief of Naval Staff, Dr. Shabnam from Max Hospital, Dr. Vinita from Max Hospital, Dr. Rajiv Gupta, University of Sharda, and Mr. Razovsky, who is also a co-host of this event, and of course, Vice Chairman of Rus Education, I want to thank you for your motivation, for your suggestion, for your advice, for our students who are going to this challenging field of profession, doctor. Dear students, you know, and dignitaries have already shared with you also that India has a shortage of around about 800,000 doctors. Yes, healthcare system in India is improving day by day. But when we talk about the system, healthcare system is not, it's something that how many big 5-star hospitals you are having in your country, how many best medical institutes you are having in your country. The system is whole system for the country. I am a professor of public health, so public health indicators is very sensitive issues for me. I have already mentioned that Indian healthcare system is doing great in last few years. It's improving day by day. When you talk about public health indicators, you know, you'll be learning all the public health indicators. It was my favorite question when I was taking exam of my students. Among these all public health indicators, infant mortality rate is the most sensitive public health indicator. And if we compare public health indicator, only one indicator, that is infant mortality rate, you will get knowledge, information about the whole public health system of the country. Just if you compare public health
system in India, Russia, Singapore, Japan. Singapore, Japan, they are having the base of public healthcare system in the world. If we compare only one infant mortality rate, you will get idea. Infant mortality rate in India is 40. We calculate out of 1,000 live births, 40 is the infant mortality rate in India. In Russia, it's about 5-6. But if you see in Singapore, infant mortality rate in Singapore, Japan is 1.5. So out of 1,000 live births, they lost only less than 2 lives. In India, still we are having 40. It's, it's a very huge loss for the country. So we have to improve public health system. We have to try to achieve this indicator around 8 to 10. For that, you should come back to country after getting degree and contribute to improve the public health system of this country. Mr. Azovsky, अच्छी हिंदी में आपसे कहा जो कंप्लेन नहीं करना, तो जो स्टूडेंट्स है आप लोग रशिया जा रहे हो डॉक्टर बनने, आपको भूलना नहीं है जो आप डॉक्टर बनने जा रहे हो। डॉक्टर बनने आप जब रशिया जाओगे बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस आएंगे आपके सामने, क्लाइमेट, फूड और भी बहुत सारे। आपको ये सारे जो चैलेंजेस है फेस करना है, आगे बढ़ना है, डिग्री लेके अच्छा डॉक्टर बन के फिर इंडिया वापस आना। बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स है जो पहले दिन से कंप्लेन करेंगे जो खाना में नमक थोड़ा से कम है, और खाना में जो नमक थोड़ा से कम है ये छोटा सा इशू नहीं, वो इतना बड़ा इशू क्रिएट करेगा। वो कंप्लेन करेगा पेरेंट्स को, फिर कंप्लेन करेंगे इंडियन एम्बेसी को, फिर ट्वीट करेंगे फॉरेन मिनिस्टर को, जो है खाना में नमक कम। बहुत बार ऐसे इश्यूज होते हैं तो स्टूडेंट्स का खाना में नमक कम है, उसका रूम में किसी साउथ इंडियन स्टूडेंट को डाल दिया या और दूसरे स्टेट के स्टूडेंट्स को डाल दिया, तो ये छोटे छोटे इश्यूज पे भी हो। हमारी स्कॉलरशिप दे रहे मैट्री स्कॉलरशिप, लविंग मेमोरी ऑफ सुषमा शेखर, शी वाज वेरी एक्टिव इन ट्विटर। तो सारे स्टूडेंट्स कोई भी सिचुएशन है उनको ट्वीट करते हैं, और उनको तो पता नहीं है जो ये कोई सीरियस इशू है या छोटा सा इशू है, तो उसी टाइम इंडियन एम्बेसी को, फॉरेन मिनिस्टर को अलर्ट करते थे जो है देखो जो स्टूडेंट्स है रशिया का छोटा से सिटी में उसका साथ क्या हो रहा है। मेरा एडवाइस है आप लोग जो पढ़ने जा रहे हैं तो ये सारे छोटे छोटे जो चैलेंज है, ये चैलेंज अगर आप फेस करेंगे तो आप आगे जाएंगे। चैलेंज जो है इसको अगर फेस नहीं करेंगे तो आप आगे जा नहीं पाएंगे। डॉक्टर शबनम ने कहा जो डॉक्टर एक प्रोफेशन जो है आपको पढ़ना है सारी जिंदगी, ऐसे नहीं कि आपने 6 साल पढ़ाई किया, डिग्री लेके इंडिया आ गए और आप डॉक्टर बन गए। एक डॉक्टर को आपको सारी जिंदगी पढ़ना है। 6 साल ये आपको एक बेसिक एजुकेशन जो रशिया में हम आपको प्रोवाइड करेंगे, फिर आपको इंडिया आना है, आपको MCI स्क्रीनिंग टेस्ट क्लियर करना है, इंडियन हॉस्पिटल्स में जाना है, प्रैक्टिस करना है, और सारी जिंदगी आपको पढ़ाई करना है, क्योंकि आपने फैसला किया जो आप सेवा करना चाहते हैं। नोबेल प्रोफेशन है डॉक्टर का, आपने चूज किया। आई विश यू सक्सेस डियर स्टूडेंट्स। रशिया इंडिया का मित्र देश है। मिस्टर राजोस्की ने कहा रशिया जब आएंगे जो रशियंस है हिंदुस्तान से, इंडियन से बहुत प्यार करते हैं, इंडियन मूवीज से, इंडियन कल्चर से, इसलिए आप कैसे नहीं लगेगा जो आप हिंदुस्तान से कहीं ज़्यादा दूर गए हैं। आई विश यू सक्सेस। आई विश पेरेंट्स सक्सेस। डियर स्टूडेंट्स, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम रशिया में है तो रूस एजुकेशन आपका सेवा के लिए हाजिर है। थैंक यू।
On behalf of Rus Education, we once again again thank our esteemed guests who graced this occasion.
We request the audience to stand up and honor our esteemed guests with a big round of applause.
I would like our esteemed guests to join us in the green room, and meanwhile we continue with the second part of our program. Thank you. Students and parents are requested to please be seated. Thank you.
खालिद किधर है? खालिद किधर है? लाइव को बंद कर दो।